Hi, my name is Daniel Pickens, and welcome to another 90daypilot.com video. Today, I want to share with you what I've learned going through airline pilot training and what you can do to guarantee your success as you go through one of the most rigorous experiences that you'll probably go through in your life. So, airline pilot training is very important for your career as an airline pilot, not just in terms of making sure that you'll get the job, but also you don't want, as we say, to have that ding on your record that you failed through airline pilot training. It'll make a big difference on your future earnings potential. Not to mention, you'll be feeling really bad if you didn't make it through, and you'll have invested a lot of time and money, an opportunity cost from going through this, you and the company. So I want to help you make it through your airline pilot training by sharing what I've learned. And again, I haven't failed. I haven't had to repeat any lessons due to lack of proficiency. I've succeeded on the first attempt at everything. And when I went through my first airline pilot training, I've had some tragedies that have happened, and yet still I've made it through. So I want to share with you. So with that being said, here's what I recommend. First is you want to make this thing your number one priority. From the day you're starting basic introc to the day you're done, this is your number one priority. This will make sure, and this, it's easy to say, it's easy for us to be watching a video that says, we'll make this number one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm talking about, look, there's baseball season started. You have to put that aside. Oh, everybody's going drinking. Why not? You need a little break. Put that aside. Oh, you have something happening with the family. July 4th. I had to give up. I gave up July 4th, the holiday, to make sure that I understood my flows for my maneuvers test, my maneuvers class. So you need that kind of commitment. If you don't have that, it's going to make it much more difficult. You have to show it, not just to do it, but to show to yourself that you're taking this as seriously as can be. And with that being said, you want to tell your loved ones and you want to tell your friends and everybody you know that, hey, you're going to be really busy and you'll be out of touch for a while because you're going to be making it through this type of training. And with that being said, you do want to take it one day at a time. I'm not just talking about big events where you're going to have to skip them to focus on your training. I'm also talking about the day-to-day activities that you have, the habits that you've built for your day-to-day success. For example, in the morning, you can practice your flows before having breakfast. Yes, I'm that serious. Or the emergency procedures before you go to sleep, do them. Or I promise not before you go to sleep. You don't want to be dreaming about emergencies, but you get the point I'm trying to make. You want to make your success a day-to-day thing. And the better you can get into that kind of groove, the more likely you are to succeed. Speaking of succeeding, you want to commit to learning. You don't want to learn this material to pass a test. You want that. If you aim for that, you're not going to make it. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. You want to aim for being able to teach it to somebody off the street. Let's say you meet some commercial pilot, and you want to teach what you're learning to that person. You want to teach the airplane. You want to be able to teach the airplane to that person. You want to be able to teach the flows and why you're doing the flows the way you are to that person. If you can get yourself to that level, then you will pass. And remember, when it comes to airline training, there are things that are going to happen. The simulator is going to be broken. You'll have an instructor who's particularly in a bad mood. You want to make sure that your performance at any rate is the best it can be. For example, for me, I had my maneuvers validation. I had a test on my birthday at midnight. So it was on my birthday at midnight. From midnight to 4 in the morning, I had a flight test. So and this is just random. You're gonna have days like that, and and I had it in a simulator that the rudder pedals were extremely sensitive to, and no one knew until the flight instructor decided to give it a try and noticed that the pedals were extremely sensitive. But by then I had already finished my maneuvers validation, so there's no point. So you want to commit to learning to where you can teach this material, and you want to have all this information in your subconscious. If you're having a hard time with something, or even if you just hesitate or something doesn't click, you go back and you study it. period. Speaking of studying, you want to make sure you have the right attitude as you go through your training. Never be confrontational with your instructors or anybody in the company. Remember, you're on probation. You're just starting out. And your attitude, the instructors will note your attitude and they will comment on it, and that will determine whether or not you'll even be staying with the company. I have seen people in my class who have been removed because they had the wrong attitude. So make sure your attitude is on point. Remember, you're constantly learning. Thank the instructors. Even if they have a bad attitude, the instructors, you might have one of those instructors that have a bad reputation. Thank them for their experience. They know that they have a bad reputation, so thank them for their learning, and take what they say to heart and improve, and show that you're improving. At the debrief, you can talk about the mistakes that you've made and how you'll do it better next time. At the very least, that might give that instructor a chance to write a good comment for you, or might tip the scale into believing that, you know what, you can accomplish the maneuver. Maybe you don't need to repeat it, or just repeat it at one time, or what have you, right? Speaking of repeating, there's no such thing as simism, or there's no such thing as being nervous because it's a simulator. That is the biggest fallacy. You have to take this mindset that it's the biggest fallacy. There's no such thing as, well, you're in the sim, you're nervous, that's why. No. You're nervous, and let's be honest, the only reason why you'll get nervous is because you haven't adequately prepared for the lesson. The instructors know it. Your first officer or captain or your sim partner who's doing this with you and who is prepared knows it. You're only kidding yourself. And at the end of the day, it'll just mean that, hey, look, this isn't for you. Sorry, bye-bye, for wasting your time and our time, right? So if you can have that concept in your, if you can understand that, then your chances of succeeding are much higher. So remember, the most important thing is to not fail your airline training, because it's paramount to the success in your profession. You need to prove to your airline who is worth investing tens of thousands of dollars in, and who can make it through. I mean, remember, your airline company is investing a lot of money into you, and they have nothing to go by. And as you probably noticed, the airline industry is a very volatile industry. It's not easy for any company to come up with $20,000 to put into an employee. So with that in mind, I wish you the best of success. Please share your stories, and if you have any questions as you go through your training, please ask below. I'm looking forward to your questions, and we'll talk later. Have a great day. Bye. Please share your stories, and if you have any questions as you go through your training, please ask below. I'm looking forward to your questions, and we'll talk later. Have a great day. Bye.